right, Possums, let's get started. So I bought 3 of my trusty go-to types of scarf along, so I can talk you through choosing the perfect scarf for you. So scarf number 1, I'll start with this. This is probably the most common type of scarf that you see kind of laying around in charity shops or op shops and things. It's kind of this standard sort of long scarf. And I love this scarf because the fabric is quite, well, it's not stiff, but it's thick and it's got a bit of strength to it. So you can see here, I've actually grabbed you this one. This is the one type of scarf you see Diamond does, and it's a really sheer kind of, it's long and rectangular and it's really sheer. This is no good. There is not a single style you can do that's going to make that work. And if you want to prove me wrong, you're very welcome to, because that was a wildly over-the-top statement. If you're going for a long one, it needs to have a little bit of chutzpah to it. So it's going to kind of stand up on its own, which is going to be handy in a minute. Alright, so we take the scarf, we put it across the back of our head, so, well, maybe not that high. We're just going to shrink it down. So we're taking up a good chunk of the back of the hair. See, so it's going to sit nice against the back of my head. And I'm just going to tie a soft knot, just so that the scarf is now sitting in between my big kind of beehive and the fringe. You can see that. Now I haven't tied it too tight yet. That's just going to hold itself for a minute while I get, and this is the part where, sorry Possums, we want trusty, virginal, untouched or unused for anything but securing the scarf, bobby pins. So look, I've got my go-to little packet here. So I'm going to need 4 of these nice, tight, super secure bobby pins. So we're going to start with the first one. Right, we're going to go right at the temple. We're going to slide this bobby pin up on an angle because we're going to form it into a cross. Okay, so right there at the temple, nice and secure. That sounded very Australian. Secure, love. Secure, well I don't know, anyway, secure. That's what we're saying to know. So open up this second bobby pin, and again we're going to now just cross it over. So we're going to create a nice tight cross, and that is going to hold your scarf really firm to even the finest bit of kind of baby wispy hair that you've got there at the temple. Alright, so that's going to secure that. So now, same on the other side. So again, we're going to do the exact same thing. So we're going to slide that up. We can get a good view of this. Slide that to make a nice cross there. Okay, so now our scarf is secured. So what we can do is we can now pull that what's that called? A knot. Pull that, and that is really tightening that now against the back of my head. I don't need to secure that or pin that at the back. That is holding that nice and firm because I've got the pins there, going to stop it from pulling back, so it's just tightening to my head. And then we've got it tied. Tie. See how easy this is, Possums? I wasn't lying to you. And now we're just tying it into a bow. So just a simple bow. Ta-da! I always like to go slightly off center. Now see how, because like I said, it's not soft. Where's that softy wafty crappy thing I had before? Hang on. I thrown it behind me. You know, this softy wafty would just be flopping up against my head. See how, because that fabric is firm, that's sitting up nice and stiff and high. So we don't like that. Get that back over there. Right, so we've tied that. Now this is again the secret. This is a part that so many people forget. We never tie a bow, whether it's on a present or on our head, Possums, without opening up the bow fabric. So the bow just wants to sit like a crappy folded little flaccid nothingness there. And we have to grab up the fabric and pull it and open the bow nice and full. So see how that's now created just by tying this, tying it in a bow. A beautiful big fan feature sitting there as part of the scarf. Possum, so that is scarf number 1. Okay, so scarf number 2. Now this is personally my favourite, and this is probably the most traditional vintage-esque style look that you can get, is that you take a large square sheer nylon scarf. Now you can definitely find these at any good vintage store. You can pick them up in charity shops or op shops. You can buy them online, but this kind of 50 to 60 centimetre squared scarf is absolutely perfect. I'm going to do this in the really kind of Rosie the Riveter sort of pin-up sort of style, and this look is absolutely amazing when your hair is getting to day 3 or 4, where if you wake up and it's not as fallen out as mine was this morning, but it's not looking too fantastic either. This is such a sneaky tip for just putting it straight over your woken up bed hair, and your hair will immediately look absolutely immaculate. Okay, so we take our big square and we simply fold it into a triangle. Easy. Now we take the long section of the triangle and we lay that across the back of our head, so it's just kissing my hairline just there. Alright, so we're going to keep our little triangles folded forward. We're going to take our 2 long sides and we're going to tie it down, making sure that we just secure in the tips of the kind of back of the top of the triangle there, see? Now again, don't go too tight just yet, so just tie it just tight enough just to be able so it can hold its position like I did with the long scarf. And this is the point again where we're going to now secure it at the temples. And then on the other side, let's keep it. It always looks extra vintagey nice if you can keep it over your ears, just with your earrings. You can see I forgot to put earrings in before, so I just sneakily popped them in between these 2 scarves. So cover your ears just with your earrings poking out. Okay, 1 and 2. Okay, so now we've got our crisscross pin on either side of our temples. So now we can go ahead and we can pull these 2 edges even tighter. And you can see that's just now, I haven't touched this in any way, that is just following my hairline, and that's just opening that up into that really kind of sort of vintage, over the rollers, you know, kind of classic look. And we're just, oh, sorry, I've just loosened that. And now we're just going to tie it in a bow. So this little dicky bit from the back of the triangle, we're going to keep that folded back. We want to tie the bow over the top of that, so that that sits back from my fringe. Alright, so we just tie it in a bow, tie. And see how, although the brown, you would think that would be lost, it just gives that a really nice kind of subtle, elegant look. But of course, do it in a colour, red, yellow. I've got loads of these to match your outfit, which always looks fabulous. And then again, remember ladies, we always open up our bows. That's always the finishing touch. So we pull that, open that up, now pull it nice and tight. Ta-da! This is totally my favourite look. I absolutely love this style. And that is going to take any hair. So no matter how trashy it looks when you wake up, as long as it's got a little bit of height to it, that's always going to look absolutely $1 million. So that is scarf tutorial tying number 2. Okay, Possum, so this brings us, drum roll please, to our 3rd and final vintage hair scarf tutorial tying, whatever this is. And I'm sticking back with the square theme. Now I told you the only long scarf you can ever use really is quite a firm one in the same kind of weight as the red scarf that I used. When it comes to square scarves, your options are endless. You can really do anything with these puppies. They always look absolutely amazing. So my top tip for buying scarves is go with the colours. Don't pay attention to the pattern. This could be kind of look like your grandmother vomited on it. Which it sort of does in a kind of a weird way. Don't worry about the pattern, look at the colours. At the end of the day, the scarf is going to be folded up in such a way, the pattern is really not going to be that detectable, okay? Unless you're going to tie it right over your head as I did with the brown scarf. You're not going to be able to see what the picture is, but the colours are what are going to make your whole outfit pop. So when you're scarf shopping, or when you're out charity shopping or vintage shopping, if you see a scarf that contains colours that you're always drawn to, so if you're someone that wears reds and navies and nautical colours, if you're someone who wears kind of autumnal earthy tones, look for those colours. That will make your best scarf hands down, and that will give you the most sensational hairstyle possible. So you'll know from me that I wear a lot of pink and mint green. So undoubtedly, and yellow. So of course, I saw this scarf in their £2 suitcase at my favourite vintage shop, the Glasgow Vintage Company. Miss you guys. And so as soon as I saw these kind of colours, you know, I sort of dug through the suitcase and I sort of saw this little bit poking out and I yanked it out and just had to have it. And undoubtedly I wear this probably most commonly. So yeah, so it's all about the colors. That is absolutely essential. And when it's a square, you can do anything with it. So with this scarf, I can very easily mimic that super vintage sort of style I just did with the brown scarf. So in the exact same way, I can tie it on, keeping the points under, you know, yada yada, and I can do that kind of 50s sort of pop, right? I can do that. But as my day-to-day go-to, what I usually do is fold the scarf down and just do kind of a half pop similar to what I did with the long red scarf. So we're going to take the scarf and fold it in half. So I'm going to fold it down over itself and then fold it back up. There we go, that's it. Okay? So now with our long edge, so that's given us kind of a long trapezium sort of shape. So with our long edge, we're going to put the long edge at the base of our neck again, at the base of our hairline. Tuck in any little strays there. Okay, and again, in the exact same fashion as I've done previously, we're going to tie it down, not too tight. We're going to just tie it there so it's holding its own. We're going to pin it at the temples. So you're going to get all of that colour tying into the outfit. And again, you can do that super thin or you can do it really high. It's totally up to you. Right, so we've pinned it at the temple. So once again, that lets us pull this really tight now. So that is so tight. I can feel it pulling here. I can feel it giving me a little facelift, Possums. Pulling the skin back. Oh, it really is. My gosh, look at that brow lift. It's really tight against the back of my head. That is not going anywhere. Right, put me in a strong wind, in an air tunnel, whatever. Right, so we're pulling it up here. Again, I like it to be slightly off-centered, and then we just tie it in a bow. Now, I can hear you shouting out, Possums, what is the final step? No, louder. Sorry. Yes, we're going to open up the bows. So even though this is a teeny tiny little bow here, we're still going to do it. It's still going to make all the difference. We're going to open up these bows. Right, really expose that colour. And there you have it. That is our vintage scarf tutorial number 2. Now, it's no three, if I can count. It's no secret that the scarf I've ended on is the scarf that actually matches my outfit. So you've got there long scarf. Oh my god, I've thrown scarves all over the room. Where's the red one? Hang on, Bonnie the dog is maybe chewing on it, maybe sleeping on it. So we've got our long scarf tutorial, right, done. We've got our sheer scarf tutorial, done. And then we've got our final non-sheer square scarf tutorial, done. I told you, Possums, it was easier than you ever thought. If you would like to have a wet roller set and do all of that and use curling wands and all of that stuff, do it. You'll look amazing. If you want to kind of do a big sort of suicide roll and all of that, absolutely go for it. If you are lazy like me and you want to get a kind of a pin-up style but you don't want to do the work for it, then this is your go-to hair. And it will just look better and better as the days go on until the point where you inevitably have to wash it, which I'm sorry when that day comes. So thank you so much for joining me, Possums, for this 2-part tutorial series, face and hair. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did like it, Possum, give me a thumbs up, a like, and let me know in the comments if there's anything else you'd like me to share. Join me again next week for more Hayley Angell, you know, pointless, hopeless hair tutorials or whatever else is coming your way. And I'll see you again really soon. Thanks so much for joining me, Possums. Have a great day. Bye.